So you can think about Christ from a psychological perspective, and my critic, this particular critic that I've been reading, said, well, that doesn't differentiate Christ much from a whole sequence of dying and resurrecting mythological gods. And of course, people have made that claim in comparative religion. Joseph Campbell did that, and Jung to a lesser degree, I would say, but Campbell did that. But the difference, and C.S. Lewis pointed this out as well, the difference between those mythological gods and Christ was that there's a representation of, there's a historical representation of his existence as well. Now you can debate whether or not that's genuine. You can debate about whether or not he actually lived and whether there's credible objective evidence for that, but it doesn't matter in some sense because this, well, it does, but there's a sense in which it doesn't matter because there's still a historical story. And so what you have in the figure of Christ is an actual person who actually lived plus a myth. And in some sense, Christ is the union of those two things. The problem is I probably believe that, but I don't know. I'm amazed at my own belief and I don't understand it. Like, because I've seen sometimes the objective world and the narrative world touch. You know, that's Jungian synchronicity. Yeah. And I've seen that many times in my own life. And so in some sense, I believe it's undeniable. You know, we have a narrative sense of the world. For me, that's been the world of morality. That's the world that tells us how to act. It's real. Like, we treat it like it's real. It's not the objective world, but the narrative and the objective world touch. And the ultimate example of that in principle is supposed to be Christ. But I don't know what to, that seems to me oddly plausible.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what to make of it. It's too, partly because it's too terrifying a reality to fully believe. I don't even know what would happen to you if you fully believed it.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, you know, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.
If you believed in the story of Christ, or if you believe that history and let's say the narrative meet, let's
both,
say.
I think you, because when you believe that, you buy both those stories. You believe that the narrative and the objective can actually touch.
What are you're muted. What are your thoughts?
So, okay, so
I need to, whoa. Wait. I don't know what to make of that.
So Jordan Peterson for a very long time was struggling between, I mean, like him and the people that follow him, especially a whole lot of atheists that follow him, see some value in religion, even if you don't believe in it, right? Mm-hmm. And the emphasis has always been in the power of narratives, mm-hmm. right? For a lot of, and there's a lot of debate, there has been a lot of debate on whether or not Jordan Peterson could be considered a Christian himself or not, right? A lot of atheists who defend him say, well, no. And a lot of Christians who defend him consider him to be like promoting Christianity, okay? The difference is whether or not you have to believe that these stories are true or not to be a Christian, right? So a lot of defenders of Jordan Peterson think that there's these narratives are what shaped society and what has shaped culture and shaped the way we live. And there is a lot more value in them, these stories, especially Jesus' story, than some of us atheists realize. For a lot of Christians, though, there has been something lacking in all of this narrative, because they think like narrative is not enough. Like a lot of Christians who don't consider Jordan Peterson to be a real Christian think like this is not just narrative. This is not just stories. Jesus actually rose from the dead. Jesus was crucified and Jesus ascended to heaven. This is
died
something
for your sins. He's
this
the
is something-
salvation of mankind.
Yeah, this is something physical that happened. Okay, so a lot of people that are on the side of Jordan Peterson, they might think like, it doesn't really matter if it happened or not, right? These archetypes, these story structures, they represent something deeper, something about us, something about inside of us, right? Something
That we need.
yeah, something metaphorical about something bigger than just one person.
Mm-hmm.
However, like you can see here that, again, you guys could tell me in the live chat if you have a different interpretation of this. It seems like for Jordan Peterson, that hasn't been enough if this is like just a narrative, right? So what a lot of people think, disbelievers or atheists or people who don't believe in God, what we're missing is a sense of significance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's for significance everywhere, right? It's interesting because a lot of people think that these atheists going and following Jordan Peterson, a lot of religious people say like, look, the reason why Jordan Peterson has a lot of supporters among atheists is because atheists are still hungry for significance and meaning and purpose, right? And they're not getting that from religion. But the interesting thing is that the people who were not always atheists, like they don't feel that lack. They don't feel that there's something missing, right? You usually get that feeling of something missing from people that used to be religious and now they're not. Yeah, and now they're not religious because that hole that I think that they're trying to fill is not something that was created by religion. It's not that every human being has that hole in them that they're trying to fill, right? I think it was a hole that was created, and maybe when you leave your religion, that hole is still there that needs to be filled by something else, right? But we here at Atheist Republic have always suggested that hole could be filled with so many different things, right? And it doesn't need to have a religious theme to it. It could have if you wanted to, as long as, and we think like without filling that hole without a belief is actually a lot more helpful, right?
Hey guys, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.